This is interesting. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. So now we do that. Hello. This is my first time going live on YouTube, so we are going to see how this goes. But I need to make a ton of Etsy orders. Well, not a ton. I need to make 6. I need to make 6 Etsy orders. Hello, everyone. Okay, so I've got a bunch of ball pit chains to make. And normally, hello. Normally people really like the pastel chains, but for some reason I have a bunch of neon chains to make. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. There's so many of you all of a sudden. Hello. So, okay, just getting my beads all pulled out here. And, come on, there we go. I don't know how YouTube feels about copyrighted music. Like, normally when I do these live streams, I do them on TikTok, who they don't care about copyrighted music. But like, I fear YouTube. I fear the YouTube moderators. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. Hello, everybody. I am so glad that you like my tutorials. Hello, Nora. Hello, Lizard. Hello, everybody. I am 100% not sure how this is going to go. So, don't play copyrighted music. Heard Jeff, we are going to be crafting in silence, which means I'm going to be yapping. But let me, okay, where's my rainbow string? First of all, first thing I need to find in this absolute chaos. All right, no rainbow string. We are going to be using white string. You live in my basement? I mean, I live in an apartment, so I don't know whose basement you're living in. You should probably let them know, though. Okay, I need to grab stars. One moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Brilliant. Okay. There we go. I am making ball pit chains because right now that is basically all I sell in my Etsy shop because I got very overwhelmed with selling a bunch of different things. And so I scaled it back. My favorite candy project that I made, I am very partial to the hamburger cuff, but it's also the most recent candy project that I've made, so that is probably also something to do with it. You're a new candy maker, you're looking for tips. If you go onto my profile, I've got a beginner tutorials playlist, and I also have a couple of videos way early on, like years ago, that are beginner candy tips, and it's a little compilation of beginner tips from TikTok. My favorite color is rainbow. It changes other than that. It's been cycling through. I think I'm feeling pretty green these days, but sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's purple. Really just depends. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you like my tutorials. I'm gonna move that trash can closer to me because I just threw trash on the floor. Can I do a cut to connect squares? I don't understand what your request is for. But potentially. Ooh, diamond painting. I don't have the patience for diamond painting. I very much admire the people who do, though. Making lots of cuffs and stars. Hell yeah. The Sweet Martha's bucket. Yes. Extremely Minnesota coded. This is one of like 3 that I use to hold craft supplies in. Every year I get a new one. Yeah, I think like Kandi really appeals to some people. Perler appeals to some people. I feel like perler people and diamond painting people like are kind of in the same boat a little bit. Um, but like they're all extremely cool and valid crafts. So thank you. My Etsy it's linked in the description of all of my videos, but you can just search Mood Candy on Etsy and I'll come up. You love perler? See? Called it. I'm gonna be making a belt chain with stars on it. So this is the first one. I have to add a bunch more. Unfortunately, I cannot adopt you. I can barely take care of myself, and putting me in charge of another smaller human would only end in disaster. I definitely understand where it's coming from, and I am flattered. I have done such a Squishmallow purge over the last couple of years. All of the ones that I still have left are either like special to me for some reason, or I'm planning to use them in a project, or both. The hardest candy project I've ever made? Oh, that is such a good question, actually. Man, I don't know. I feel like learning how to make shape cuffs really challenged me. Like, there's a lot of math involved in shape cuffs, and my brain does not naturally get along with math very well. So I feel like that one was probably the hardest. Where do I get my stars? I get them on Amazon. You can search for ball pit stars. If you go to, I think there's a link in my bio here on YouTube. On YouTube. Let me double check, actually. How the frick heck ding dang. Okay. View your channel. Yeah, okay, perfect. So if you go to my channel, you like do view your channel, whatever. There is a link in my bio there, and it has a bunch of different Amazon lists. I don't love Amazon. I don't love that that's the only place I've been able to reliably find these, but that's like the easiest. All of my supplies are together in one place. You can find them there, kind of thing. Queer posters or keychains. I mean, yes, I feel like there is a lot of that out there right now. So it doesn't necessarily, like, the queer market does not need me to show up and make more queer keychains. You know what I mean? I definitely, like, appreciate the thought, though. Yes, this collection has been built up over years and is very satisfying to look at. Can I make a star tutorial? I have already made a star tutorial. I have made several, in fact. I get my beads from beadtin.com. Star crown tutorial. I have also made one of those already. My day has been all right. I have drunk some water. I have eaten some food. I have slept all right. Thank you so much for asking. Things are about as good as can be expected given the current state of things and the fact that I am chronically ill and disabled. I will also say, like, the chat is going so fast. I am trying so hard to answer everybody. If I don't answer you and you see your message disappear, you can go ahead and send it again, but, like, wait until it disappears. I have never made a candy dream catcher because I am not Native American, and there are a lot of Native people who have, like, candy kids, who have said that making candy dream catchers is, like, disrespectful and not cool. And, like, I don't need to make a candy dream catcher, but I do need to make sure that my Indigenous friends feel safe around me. So No Kandi dream catchers for me. Can you see my newest project? Yes, actually. I am working on a tutorial for this right now. It's a Mobius cuff. My friend Amanda invented it. If you have ever seen two slugs doing it, kind of looks like this. So might call it a slug cuff. We'll see. I do have a P.O. box. It is also listed at the link in my bio. The stars are ball pit stars. They're from Amazon. If you go into my Amazon lists in the link in my bio, you will find them. There are all kinds of things there, by the way. I tried to make it so that you can find pretty much whatever you need in that link tree. I get my string from Amazon. You can also get it from Bead Tin. I get 1.2 millimeter cloth covered stretch cord. I do watch anime. I've seen a number of shows. I need to catch up with Dan, whatever. Because I know that season 2 has started airing and I'm behind, but I do love that show. Dungeon Meshi, Naruto. My next set of nails, if my tech agrees to it, might be Naruto themed. You know. I do have a P.O. box. It is listed at the link in my bio. I cannot make any promises about opening things on camera or not. I always do my best to do so, but like being chronically ill and disabled does sometimes mean that I can't. And so I have unfortunately learned over time to not like overcommit myself, because I end up feeling really sad and disappointed if my body stops me from doing what I want to do. Circus Kandi is here. Hello, hello. Where are you? I didn't see you, but I see everybody being really excited that Circus Kandi is here. Oh my god, hello! Yes. Can you eat my beads? I don't recommend it. Happy birthday, Cordelia. Oof. My favorite color combo, I mean, rainbow. Come on. Come on. Who are we talking to here? Of course it's rainbow. Of course I've noticed you. I think I subscribed to you. I know that, like, you never really know who's subscribing to you or not, but I am fairly certain I subbed to you the other day when I, like, found your account. Hello, Kandi Kids. If I'm not, then I will after this. But I try to follow back, like, all of the Kandi tutorial makers. It's a small community. We gotta be friends. Like, there is no competition here in my mind. We're all doing the same thing. Okay, skizzies. Boop. All right. And then I gotta put a little glue on the knots so they don't come undone. Fun story, when I first started learning how to make candy back in like 2019, I used ginger candy and oh god, they don't go by Vicky muffins anymore, I don't think. And one of the meds I'm on is giving me short-term memory loss. But those two are who I learned from. And then when I started making tutorials, they followed me back and now like we're friends. And so that's like how this community works in my mind, you know? You're trying to make cuffs, you have limited beads. Try chain stitch. I think they're small, like decorated chain cuffs are small. They don't use a ton of beads, but it's bigger than a single. I've got a tutorial for them. I think that's probably the type of cuff that uses the least amount of beads total. Can you see my nails? Yes. Here's my nails. They're gummy worms. My nail tech is amazing. She's the best. If you live in Minnesota, you absolutely should go to her. What cuff should you make? X base. 2X. You make candy bracelets for cast members at Disney. I bet they love that. Right now, I just finished it actually, so I can show you. I'm making belt chains. Star belt chains. I've got 6 orders for them in my Etsy. And I know at least one of them has lights. So I'm going to do that one last because I don't like adding lights to candy. My Etsy is Mood Candy, same as on here. You can search up Mood Candy. It'll come up. My favorite candy to make, I like X-Base. X-Base is the easiest for me. Can I do a candy skirt tutorial? Ooh, maybe someday. They take forever. They take so long. Like, it's on my wish list of when I have infinite time and energy. Or maybe one day I will wake up and feel extremely inspired to make myself a new candy skirt, and I will film it when I do. But I think I've made one, and it took me 3 days, literally doing nothing but making candy from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. You sent me a Batsy themed cuff. Oh my god, I do remember that. Hello, thank you. I've been making candy since 2019, so however long that is. Okay, this one is done, ready to ship. And then the next one has ad lights, so we're gonna skip that one for now, and we're gonna do the next one. You can do part 1 and part 2. I don't like doing part 1 and part 2. Maybe that's just me being whiny, but I don't like it. What if Candy Shark plush? I mean, I don't think it would be plush if it was beads. Beads are hard. Beads crunchy. Tell me what colors and words to put on a single, please. No, I refuse to make candy singles, and I'm not about to start now. They are my least favorite candy to make, is candy singles. Yeah, you're so welcome. You're totally fine. I'm not, by the way, if I ever come across as like upset or mad or whatever, very likely I'm not. I'll make it very, very clear if I ever am. I'm autistic, and sometimes the intention or emotion behind what I'm saying doesn't translate properly. Okay. I need to grab stars for the next one, which is gonna be orange, green. Okay, hang on. I'm grabbing stars. Not grabbing beads, grabbing stars. Orange and green. And red and pink. And there's one more color, which is blue. Okay. So this is a custom order. So they've got it in a not rainbow order. They want orange and then green and then red and then pink and then blue. Okay. Hello. I am gonna probably be live for like another hour or two. I want to try and finish all of my Etsy orders. I've got 6 orders. I just finished 1, so I've got 5 left to do. It's probably unrealistic to get it all done in the next hour, so I'll probably be on here for another hour and a half to 2 hours, is my guess. Oh yeah, I absolutely do have recommended candy fidgets. If you go on my profile, I've got 2 videos. One is for a fidget keychain, and one is for a fidget thumb cuff. Neither one of those should be particularly sharp. Both of those should be safe to stim with. The Furby costume, yeah. Yes, you are so welcome. Not a problem for all the tutorials. I enjoy making tutorials, and I'm glad that you all like them. You and Peyote have a love-hate relationship? Yeah, me too. For sure. Have fun at football practice. What can you buy on my Etsy as a person who spends all their money on random stuff? I mean, I certainly have some random stuff on my Etsy. I've got the star chains, I've got stickers, I've got shirts, I've got notebooks, I've got some crochet stuff. Sort of a a smorgasbord, if you will. I am aware of the Percy Jackson series. I was a little too old for them when they came out. I, like, honestly, I would probably read them now if I had the time and brain for reading at the moment, but um, yeah, I'm not familiar enough with them to have, like, a favorite character. I use 1.2 millimeter cloth covered stretch cord, and I need white beads. Here we go. Okay. I'm so glad I could inspire you, and thank you for stopping by while I make candy and yap. I appreciate you. Can I make a bucket hat tutorial? No, I will not make a bucket hat tutorial because there is one that already exists that was made by some friends of mine, the Candy couple. There's part 1, part 2. It is linked in my playlist for more candy tutorial makers. And there's also a tutorial that Fairy Candy is planning to make. So I don't want to step on any toes. And yeah, when there are existing tutorials for something that the makers have been pretty clear about, like, hey, please don't, like, also make tutorials for this, I try to respect that where I can. It's really only like if there is a big gap or if I make the thing in a, like, very different way that I'd be like, okay, there's a reason to make a tutorial for it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. Can I make bee? I have a tutorial for how to make a candy bee. Is that what you want? Can you see my favorite cuff? Where is my favorite cup right now? No, because it's in the living room and I'm tired. Candy ideas. You can make a thumb cuff. You could make a star cuff. I'm not sure what kind of candy you already know how to make, so it's hard for me to say, like, you know, here's what you should do. They are on Amazon. If you look in the link in my bio, I've got my Amazon lists all linked there that should have the listings in the Amazon lists. I have seen K-Pop Demon Hunters. It was a cute movie. You made your first Gur candy? That's awesome. I remember watching Invader Zim when it was first airing. Thank you so much. This is my first time going live on YouTube. I've done lives before, but they have always been on TikTok or Instagram. And I figured I should try going live on YouTube and see what happens. Have I ever watched Murder Drones? I have not. Favorite music artist or band to listen to? Oh my god, that is kind of an extensive question. I really like Motion City Soundtrack, The Rex, Bastille. I'm trying to think, like, bands, not DJs, because, like, EDM is kind of its own thing, right? So band, in terms of, like, bands and singers and stuff, of course I love Chapel Roan. Who doesn't? I'm trying to think, who have I listened to a lot to recently? I've just been really listening to a lot of Bastille lately. Like, I've been a Bastille stan for over a decade at this point. Hello, hello, hello. My favorite animal? Oh man. I never know how to answer that question. I actually really struggle with questions that are like, what's your favorite thing? Because, like, there is so much nuance to what I like when, and it changes so often, and it's, like, situational, and it's not, like, a fun answer, but I always get stuck when people ask me these things. What size needle do I use for cuffs? 2.75 inches, I believe. No, you're totally fine. It's a very common question. My Etsy shop is linked in my bio, or you can just go on Etsy and search Mood Candy and I'll come right up. Same spelling as on here. I don't know what Jojifuku is. And I have seen Madoka Magica. Yes. The EDM stuff as well. Okay. Zed's Dead, Dr. Fresh, Subtronics, Zingara, LS Dream, Level Up, Chase and Status. God, somebody threw down recently. Who was it? It'll come to me. What string do I recommend? 1.2 millimeter cloth covered stretch cord. Be there or be square. What does that mean? I have been seeing people comment that on a bunch of different things lately, and I don't know what it means. What is it from? Do I like Dr. Prepper? Yeah, it's fine. It's a cute core style. Okay, I'll look it up. Yay, I helped you make a mushroom. I love that. Any huge candy ideas? Ooh, things that'll take days. Okay, so there's some ideas that I've been wanting to do. If you go to, God, where can you get it in person? I don't know. If you get a giant plastic slinky, and I mean like ones that are that big off of Amazon, I have one that I have been hanging on to make a giant slinky cuff. That would take forever. You can also try to make a cuff with like I just made a tutorial for a double rotator cuff. You could see how many rotators you could get. It's sort of a Russian nesting doll of rotator cuffs. Do I know Dream SMP? I do not. What's the black and neon green? Oh, this one? This is a finished cuff. So this is the one that I'm working on for the tutorial. And this is what it looks like when it's done. So this tutorial will be coming out if I finish it next month, otherwise the month after. And this is a Mobius cuff, I think we decided to call it, although we might call it a slug cuff. It is similar, but not the same. It is a double helix cuff, technically, I think. But my friend Amanda, like, figured out how to do this. I haven't seen anybody make these except Amanda. I do not know Tommy Innit or Dream. I was in a cult for 20 years. So anything that happened prior to, like, October 2018, I probably don't know about it. Oh. Cicada. Okay, got it. Thank you. That is helpful. Do I want to be a K-pop? I don't think I want to be a K-pop. That sounds like a really difficult life. It was Scientology. You totally not a problem you asking. I don't think I have talked about it a lot on my YouTube channel because YouTube gets real, like, persnickety about staying in your niche, and if you post a bunch of stuff that is not, like, in your niche, it can mess up the channel, and I want people to be able to find my tutorials. But I have talked about it I've gone on a couple of different podcasts. I have talked about it on my TikTok and my Instagram. Yeah, it's not a secret. Do I like Rumi or Zoe or Mira? I like them all. They're different people. Like, they all seem cool. Candy ideas for intermediate candy makers. I do have some tutorials for intermediate candy makers. If you enjoy making multi-stitch or peyote stitch cuffs and are, like, decent with math, make a shape cuff. If you are none of those things, make a mermaid cuff. Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm making a bunch of them right now for my Etsy because I've been procrastinating. They go on your belt, or like you clip them on the side of your pants, and you have a little cutie little belt chain, like, you know, old school Hot Topic shit. Ooh, there we go. Sorry, I'm using my phone stand as like a little hanger. Oh my god, I forgot I even had this. This is probably going to make a better hanger. And then I will stop wiggling my camera. There we go. There we go. Oh my God. Slay. Okay. I've been making candy for about 6 years. My candy is not edible. The way that these are made, I would not trust them as purse straps, but if you made them with fishing line, it probably would work as a purse strap. Any tips for uneven peyote? Weirdly, fishing line is easier to work with for peyote. Favorite color? Probably green currently. Do you support Therians? For sure. I have no issue with Therians. Favorite movie? I don't know. My candy is not edible. I have made a candy skirt before. It took 3 years. No, 3 days, not 3 years, 3 days. And so it made me not very interested in making another one. Yeah, fishing line, if you're making something that needs to be durable and doesn't need to stretch, fishing line is the way to go, for sure. I was a seed kid. I was a seed kid back in 2006, 2005, 6, 7, when I was in high school. How many tattoos do I have? A lot. I've lost count. I've got a sleeve. I've got most of from my right knee down is covered. I've got my hands, my chest, stuff on my back and ribs. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, someone explained the 67 thing to me. I saw that one recently too, and what's it from? What's the deal? What's the joke? My favorite style? Oh, I love Decora. I know that Decora, like there's Decora and then there's a bunch of other ones under Decora. So I'm kind of cheating by just saying Decora, but I love Decora style. Oh, it's from a song. It's a meme. I did get that it's a meme. Very sensitive. Oh, like sensory sensitive. So you can wear sleeves, like thin, long sleeves, or they make like arm socks. Not the kind that you wear in gym class, not like the sweatband ones, but to like protect your arms from the sun, or even fishnet sleeves. Those can work really, really well for if your arms are sensitive to candy. Okay, so 6, 7 is from a song, and then a kid said 67, and it became popular. Okay, so it's just a meme. There's no, like, special thing about it. 6'7" is the height of a basketball player. Got it, got it. Happy birthday. Wearing bracelets with sleeves make them stretch more. Yeah, you would want to, depending on how thick the sleeve is, but, like, if it's a very thick sleeve, yes, you would need to make the cuff bigger, but just add like 1 bead or 2 beads to most singles and it'll be fine. Yeah, I don't know. It really depends. Like some sensory ick for me, like sensory difficulties do get better over time if I just like gradually introduce it and like try to acclimate. Some don't. So I would say it's worth a shot, but it's not a guarantee. Also, it's pronounced 6'7", not 67. Thank you. Would not have picked that up. Also, again, I am doing my best to answer everybody and also make my Etsy orders. And sometimes the chat goes very, very fast. So I promise I'm trying to get to everybody. Any tips for promoting Etsy stores? I will be super real with you. I don't know. Etsy has changed a lot over the last like 2 years, and I've been on Etsy since 2020. So some of the stuff that like worked for me when I was first starting out is not necessarily going to work for everybody starting out now. And like I would not feel good giving bad advice. You know what I mean? Some other candy kits I would recommend for tutorials. You're in luck. I have a playlist. If you go to my playlists, I have more candy tutorial makers, and there's like I don't even remember how many are on there, 40 or 50 different channels. People call you weird for being a candy kid. What do? Be aggressively weirder. Some people are going to think that anything that isn't like mainstream is weird and bad, and they're wrong and boring. And when they become adults, they will continue to be wrong and boring, and you will have a personality. One moment, I need to grab some more stars. 7 stars. Okay. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Boop. I'm back. Dang it, I grabbed the wrong color. Okay. Tutorial on a GUR X-Base cuff. Is that a specific cuff that you're thinking of, or is it just like an X-Base cuff that is GUR themed? Because if it's just an X-Base cuff that's GUR themed, I've got tutorials for X-Base. I've got a bunch of different versions, and you can just change the colors and like go crazy. How many of these things? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these ones, these smaller ones, I've got 7, and then the big ones I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Can you buy the stuff that you're making? Yes, on my Etsy, and my Etsy is both linked in my bio and also the same name as on here. If an earthquake happened in my area, all of those beads would come falling down. If an earthquake happened in Minnesota, we would have bigger problems. An X-Base that looks like GUR. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Buy my beads at Bead10. Not an affiliate, just the best bead website. Thousands of dollars on beads and string alone. Oh, for sure. For sure. I've done my taxes the past 3 years. I have spent way too much money on craft supplies. Such is life. Okay, we're doing. Have I gone to Mall of America? Yeah, for sure. What are my pronouns? They, them. Have I ever seen a bead board anywhere? Yes, my friend Mama Cat's Crafts makes them. I don't think I have them linked in my thing. I should. Good point. After this, I'll add a link to my profile, to my little thingaling, so that they're easier to find. But Mama Cat's Crafts, for sure. Make a tutorial on a candy single. Already done. It's on this channel. I think it's a short. What if I have to move? Then I'm just fucked. Can I make a stitch? Well, right now, I am desperately trying to get my Etsy orders done. So no, but maybe someday. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I do use they, them pronouns. Okay. I need key rings. Gotta put these on the key rings. What days do I stream? I don't currently have a schedule. Basically, I stream when I have Etsy orders to do and I need body doubling. Because left to my own devices, I will just sit and think about the Etsy orders I need to make and then feel bad for not making them. You looked on Mama Cat's website, it said unavailable. I know she just did a new drop, so I'm not, maybe there's some, maybe there's not, I'm not 100%, but I do know that she makes the best ones. Best in the business. I'm not sure what Stomach Book is. Hello, hello. You made an Asteria Candy Doll keychain? That sounds awesome. Working on your last back panel of a candy bag. Oh my god. God's strongest soldier, for real. I hate peyote stitch. Well, hate is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like it. And sorry, I'm on a medication that makes me forget things, so I did just forget what I was saying in the middle of the sentence. Do I know Alex G or perhaps Lovejoy? Alex G sounds familiar. I do use charms. Base head beads is my absolute favorite 3D printed bead maker. And I'm not just saying that because I do work for them, like social media work. They genuinely have the best beads in the business. Other than that, if you go to the link in my bio, I have a little tab that says Kandi and Rave Supplies, I think, and it has a bunch listed, all the different links. And they're not affiliate codes. Most of them are not affiliate links. Most of them are just places I buy beads from. You made a rotator cuff? Hell yeah! Do you like Call Me Chris? She's fine. Do you like The Living Tombstone? Yes, that is absolutely nerd history. Do you like 21 Pilots? Yeah, I don't have like strong feelings about 21 Pilots, but I like them. Candy bag out of squares? Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I do not have the patience for that. That is intense. You are carrying the scene on your back, for sure. Am I on Candy Patterns? Yes, I have not posted on Candy Patterns for a long time, but I am on there. Candy Peyote Stitch Cuff, are there any easy patterns? Go to candypatterns.com. That is where I would go to find some fun patterns for that. My god, we're having a whole little, like, non-binary conference in the comments. I love it. That's super cool. I'm not familiar with that music artist, but, like, I love the creativity. Hello, hello. Oh my god, I don't know how to pronounce your username. I do use charms. Go to the link in my bio. I've got them all listed there under the, like, where to find candy supplies. Needle thingy. It's a yarn needle. 2.75 inches, I think. Linked in my bio. Have I made a tiny child yet? Like, out of beads? No. Also, not out of anything else. So the answer is no, no matter what. Do you like Tally Hall? My partner listens to Tally Hall. I don't really listen to them. You're gonna make a Hello Kitty cuff? Hell yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my comment section. I am doing my best. Doing my best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, somebody ordered a chain while I was on this live. If you're in here, hello. Is it trusted to buy candy online like cuffs? It really depends. Like, sorry, I'm getting distracted by reading the comments, reading chat, instead of saying what I meant to be saying. I do have an Etsy. I have the same name on there as I have on here. And I don't know who TV Girl is. You made a Dr. Pepper rotator cuff? That's extremely silly. I love that. Do you like corn? That is a throwback. There's a couple of corn songs that I enjoy, mostly for nostalgia reasons. Any tips on selling candy? Oh god. I've got a lot to say about selling candy, but I am gonna be honest, my brain is not at like 100% today. If you go on my Instagram, I have a highlight called Seller FAQ, where I have a bunch of information, tips, videos, like everything related to selling candy is on that highlight in my Instagram. I am just not going to be very eloquent tonight, unfortunately. Metal needles, Michaels. Michael's will have metal needles. They will be in the yarn section. You want a metal yarn needle. You can also get it online, but if you want to go somewhere in person, I think Walmart may also have them. That's very cute that your boyfriend still wears the bracelet. I think that's Riz. I think that counts. You just finished an epic cuff and now you're almost done with the bag. Hell yeah. This is your first time watching my stream? Well, this is my first time streaming on YouTube, so we're both here for the first time. How about that? The best string, in my opinion, is 1.2 millimeter cloth covered stretch cord. I will die on that hill. Unfortunately, there's not like a specific brand, and the listings like change and go away, and so it's always kind of a gamble what you're going to get, if you're going to get 1 millimeter or 1.2 millimeter. Both are fine, but I really, really like 1.2 millimeter. That it makes very sturdy cuffs, makes them stand up straight. Asterisk, if I am making panels, peyote stitch, like charms, or a mask, something that does not need to stretch, fishing line. Besides Kandi, what other hobbies do I have? I bully Republicans. No, crochet and collage, and sometimes I play Guild Wars 2 on the computer, although I haven't in like a long time, and I really want to get back to it. I don't know. I've been trying to just like hang out with friends more. I know that sounds silly as like, what are your hobbies? But literally just finding excuses to go like see my friends and hang out has been really nice. My favorite candy to make is X-Base. I can just kind of like not think, turn off brain, let hands go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oof. Can you please do a candy tour? I'm gonna show you something upsetting. Well, it's upsetting to me, probably not to you, but let me just pull you off the stand here. Yeah, so I have a bunch of boxes of candy that are waiting to go up on the candy wall. As soon as I do that, as soon as I find the like energy, motivation, etc., to get all of my candy out of boxes and onto the wall, yes, I will do a candy tour. But until then, I cannot. Can I stream more on YouTube, please? I will very likely start streaming more on YouTube. The way that I used to do it was on TikTok, and with TikTok being sold to an American company, I don't feel super good streaming on there anymore. So I'm probably going to stream on here instead. Would I trade with you? I would absolutely trade with you in person. I don't do mail trades right now, simply because I am both disabled and extremely busy, and so I had a couple of like planned mail trades that I was really behind on, and I felt really bad about it, and I don't want to put myself back in that situation. Do I do digital or traditional art? The closest to traditional art that I do is collage, and I do that like with scissors and glue and stuff. So I guess traditional, but like mostly I do what would be considered crafts, you know? Can you say potato? Potato. Am I going anywhere soon to trade candy? I will be going to some local shows here in Minnesota. I'm not sure exactly what yet. The festival season is kind of over for the year. It's like winding down. There's a couple, Lost Lands is happening this weekend, and then there's a few big festivals like the weekend after, but once we get into October, it's pretty much Halloween season. Hello, hello. Is there a specific age you have to be? So, local raves occasionally are all ages, and it just kind of depends on like the venue and the artist and whatever. You have to go case by case. For festivals, most festivals are at least 18 and up. A lot of the time they're 21 and up because there's alcohol. So, but again, depending on where you live and what you're looking at, there are some options that are all ages. And I would definitely say go with a trusted adult, parent, guardian, somebody who is going to be able to, like, you know, look out for you, have your back, etc., etc. These are from Amazon. Link is in my bio. If you go to the link in my bio, I've got all my Amazon lists there. Yeah, no worries. What shows do I watch when making candy? Well, it really depends. I watch a lot of, like, YouTube video essays. Oh no, I'm stupid. Oh shit, I messed up. Oh no, I boffed it. Oh, I beefed it. Oh no. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when I get distracted talking and don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can salvage this. Okay, what shows do I watch when making candy? I watch a lot of video essays. I like video essays about, like, media analysis, talking about movies, stuff like that. Sometimes I'll watch anime, although it has to obviously be a dub, not a sub, because I gotta look at what I'm doing. I binge watched the first, like, 11 seasons of Criminal Minds recently. Do I have a favorite song? God, what song am I listening to a bunch right now? There are definitely songs that I do that with. I don't have one right now that I'm, like, listening to on repeat. I kind of go through phases where, like, I'll be in a music phase and then I'll have favorite songs that I listen to over and over, and then I just, like, stop listening to music for a couple months and then go back and forth that way. Okay, everybody think good thoughts about this one. Is gonna be tricky. Do I like Arcane? I haven't watched it. I heard that it was really good and also that it was really sad, and I don't need more sad things in my life right now, so I have not watched it yet. Oh my god, I'm so glad my videos could help you. That's awesome. Is that a hot dog with legs on my right wrist? This is my right wrist. Do you mean this one? This is a sea bunny. It is a sea slug. I've got another one right here. My two little sea bunnies. How did I start making candy? I got introduced to the rave scene, the local Minneapolis rave scene, and my rave mom taught me about trading candy. Like, my very first show, she taught me how to trade candy, and I immediately fell in love with trading candy. And then she used to have, like, candy parties at her apartment where she would invite all of the, like, random people that she met at raves to all come over and make candy, and that's how she would, like, introduce friends to each other and whatever. And so that was kind of how I started, and then that was 2019, and 2020 COVID hit, and we were all inside for 6 months, and so I was just like, well, I guess I'm gonna learn a new skill. My favorite candy that I own, I don't know how to answer that one. That's a hard one. Where did I find the Star ball pit balls? On Amazon. Link is in my bio. Do I make candy clowns? No. That is teddy bears beads and creature. I think teddy bears, I believe, I'd have to look. I believe Teddy Bears Beads is the one who made the original candy clown, like, made it and introduced it. Fun fact, you can make a candy possum the same way, you just have to use slightly different color choices. But yes, the dino tutorial, that was also Teddy Bears Beads. They figured it out and they were like, here's how you make it. I don't want to make the tutorial. So I was like, all right, I'll make the tutorial. I do live in Minnesota. I have not watched The Amazing Digital Circus. I've heard it was really good. Do I have the first candy I made? No, I gave that away a long time ago. Long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was a candy single that said free shavakadu. Thank you so much. I do my best. I think that the tutorials I make work really, really well for a lot of people, and there are some people who, like, just does not work very well with their brain. And that is okay, and that is why I have a playlist of a bunch of other candy tutorial makers, because if my teaching style does not work, somebody else's will. Do I support furries? I am a furry. So there. If you sent me something, can I open it on camera? I cannot commit to that. I might. Is very likely that I will, but is not a promise. Okay, that one is done. On to the next one. Okay, and this is going to add noise. Let me just answer back real quick here. Message. Hey, did you want alternating orange, black, orange stars and orange, black, orange beads? Or did you want it starting with black? Okay. Hello, hello. Least favorite thing when making candy is sweaty hands. That is a difficult thing. I agree. I think my least favorite thing with making candy is that I messed up my shoulder. And so if I try to make candy for too long, I get nerve pain. How do you send me stuff? My P.O. box is like the link in my bio. If you click it, it opens up. P.O. box is listed there. Not trying to sound rude, but how old are you? I am in my 30s. It's not rude. Like, I know some people have a big thing about it. I don't care. I'm in my 30s. Other than candy, what do you like to do in your spare time? Oh, God. Hang on. Okay. I crochet. I do collage. I binge watch Criminal Minds. I hang out with my friends. I get tattooed. Thank you so much. It desperately needs to be redyed. I'm doing all right. I have done a dino tutorial. It is on my page. My first candy was not a rotator cuff because I didn't know that they existed. My first, I made some singles and then I made a couple of multi-stitch cuffs. But then when I, got online, as soon as I saw the rotator cuff, I made it. And that was my first X-Base, was a rotator cuff. Let's see. Boop. Oh yeah, my septum, that was a pain in the ass to heal. It took like a year to heal. You're bi-gender and have a candy star of it? Hell yeah. Hello, hello. Okay, give me a sec. I need to grab some more stars. One moment. The candy that takes me the longest to make, I am mad slow at ladder cuffs. I feel like maybe panty stitch or multi-stitch actually takes longer, but it feels like ladder cuffs take the longest, you know? Emotionally. On an emotional level. Bullied by ladder cuffs, you know? Okay. Write on 2 more stars, just like that. And then this person wanted me to add noise, which means I have a step to do before I can add them to the string. Free shavakadu. Everyone spam the chat. I need mods. Clearly I need mods. She'd rather have Legos all over the house than beads. I think if she stepped on a Lego, she would change her mind. But that's just me. Okay. What's my ideal show to watch while making candy? Ooh, good question. Something that I don't need to look at, like something that could be a podcast. Let me think. I've been watching the A Bit Fruity podcast a lot, actually, while I have been making candy. Just because, like, I look down, I look up, and I look down, and I look up, and I miss stuff. The nails. The gummy worm nails. Oh my god, yeah, no, my cats are not allowed in my office. My cat, singular. I don't have more than one cat. I only have one cat, and she is not allowed in my office. Hi, Maya. My nail tech, her name is Veronica. Her is nailed by Veronica. I've started putting it in the description on my YouTube videos because I get so many questions about it. If you live in Minnesota, you should absolutely go to her. She's great. My favorite candy to make is X-Base. My favorite candy to receive is anything that is, first of all, big enough for my arm. I got big arms. I got big fat arms. So big enough for me to actually wear. And then I like weird stuff. I like seeing things that like I have never made before or I've never seen before. I like experiments. You know what I mean? I buy my beads from Bead Tin. There's a bunch of different places I get beads from. They're all listed in the link in my bio. And my favorite anime is, I don't know. Like, I don't like picking anime that are still airing because, like, it doesn't feel accurate. I love Dungeon Meshi. I love Dan. I love Chainsaw Man. All three of those are absolutely phenomenal animes. And I have read the manga for Chainsaw Man, and I'm most of the way through Dungeon Meshi. And then completed anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a phenomenal show. I've watched it all the way through twice, and it is just peak. And I'm really like, I have a soft spot for Naruto. Okay. Hey man, don't call yourself fat. That's not okay. It's true. I am fat. Fat's not a bad word. Like, I know I definitely missed a bunch of messages and I am sorry for that, but you got me going now. Fat's not a bad word. Fat is a descriptive word. It describes things. Like, fat and thin are just two ends of a scale. If somebody says that fat is a bad word, that is their problem. That is not my problem. I am fat and I am also hot as fuck. They're not mutually exclusive. What's your favorite candy, like, to actually eat? I really like the caramel apple lollipops that, like, people only eat them around Halloween, but I love them. What's the name of the mushroom in the background? I haven't named her. I don't name my stuffies very often. I've really only named Hubert. She also might be going to a friend of mine, so I hesitate to name her. I don't want to get too attached. I'm so glad I could help you. I know, caramel apple pops are, like, criminally underrated. I have heard of Young Sheldon. I might watch it. I might not. I have a list. I have a whole, like, list, a shared Google Doc of things that I need to watch. I haven't seen Demon Slayer yet. It's on the list. Okay. I need to grab these too. And I also need to grab these. Where are you? There you are. Boop, ba-doop, boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, boop, boop. Okay. Thank you, thank you. So I did say this earlier about the gur cuff. I am not sure what you're talking about. I've never seen it, so I can't do a tutorial on it. Like you did explain to me what it is. You are referring to a thing that exists that I have not seen. What are caramel apple pops? It's a type of lollipop that you can get in like a bag at Walgreens. I don't know if you live in America, or also I don't know if this is a state by state regional thing or if this is everywhere, but here in Minnesota at least, and in California, when I lived in California, you could go to Walgreens or CVS or whatever, Rite Aid, and get a bag of lollipops that are caramel apple flavored, and it sounds insane, but they are so good. Hello, hello. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My favorite type of chips, crunchy Cheetos. Not hot Cheetos, regular Cheetos, but crunchy. I have not watched The Summer I Turned Pretty. You live in the USA, you don't know what a caramel apple is. Again, might be a regional thing. It is an apple, literally just an apple. You shove a popsicle stick into it. Normally you cut a hole. You can't just like shove but you shove a popsicle stick into it. And then you dip it in caramel. Literally that's it. And then you can like you can roll it in like chocolate chips or whatever. People get really fancy about it. It's kind of an old-fashioned Halloween candy thing because stranger danger, and people get worried about like, oh, you know, you're giving my kid something that like you made. What if you poisoned it, etc. So it's not really a thing anymore. I mostly only see them at like Disneyland or tourist candy shops, but what's my favorite fruit? I like berries. If I'm in California or Oregon, blackberries. Hi, just asking if you have any Aero Ace bracelets. Hello, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't currently have any Aero Ace bracelets because I am not myself aromantic or asexual. However, I do have a tutorial, linked heart cuff tutorial. It's old. It's like a few years old. You gotta scroll back on my channel. But you can absolutely, like, the color scheme for that works for aromantic, asexual. Like you can customize the cuff to your flag colors. Hello, Candy Maker. Any tips for X spaces? I'm bad at them. Mostly when I see people saying that they are bad at X space, it is an issue with tension, with keeping the string tight the whole time that you're working. One thing that can make it easier is using thicker string. So if you're using 1 millimeter, try sizing up to 1.2 millimeter. Another thing that can help is if you get some metal clothespins, like the kind here, like this kind that are rubberized. And if your fingers get tired keeping the tension the whole time, you can use those clothespins and kind of cheat, and that'll help keep your string tight. If that is not the issue, then I will have different advice for you. Thank you so much. You guys are so nice. I appreciate that. I'll be real. I have heard horror stories about the YouTube comment section, and I was a little bit afraid to come on here with no mods, but I appreciate that y'all have been very kind and polite and behaving yourselves. I know I love X-Base is my favorite too. Once you get the tension, like for me, it took a little while to figure out the tension, but once I got the tension down, it just became my favorite kind of cuff. Okay, I am requesting that chat helps people with candy single ideas because, again, I hate making candy singles. I don't like coming up with ideas for candy singles is so hard to me. And my brain is already not at 100% today. Have I ever made a wig? I have not. Wig makers, I am always so impressed by wig makers. Um, God, I wish I remembered her username. There's somebody on TikTok who I'm mutuals with who makes Kandi wigs, and she's next level. It's so cool. Thank you so much. Hello, hello. Dino Nugs is a fun one, for sure. I think my biggest X base I ever made was 9 or 10 X's. It was the Pokemon cuff from a few years ago. So it was a base. It was like 9 or 10 X's high. I don't remember which. And then it had two separate cuffs that would rotate independently that looked like the top half and the bottom half of a Pokeball. And then I put ball pit balls, like red ball pit balls and white ball pit balls, in both of them. Yeah, it was huge. I ended up trading it to my masseuse for like 3 sessions. What charms do I recommend? Base head beads, always, immediately. Other than base head beads, I've got, let's see, Real Life Human Shop, 76th Street design, I think. Oh God. Taffy bat beads. There's a few other ones. If you go to the link in my bio, I've got a little section for like candy supplies. Do I have any frog candies? I don't think I have any like immediately available. I don't have any that I can just like show you, but I definitely have some. Hello, hello. I'm making ball pit chains. These things back here. Favorite kind of cuff to make is X-Base, which is kind of a cop-out answer because X-Base is like the starting point for a lot of different cuffs, but I also don't like picking favorites, so that's my compromise. Any tips for starting out on perlers? Tweezers. Now, some people like using their fingers, some people like using the tweezers. It really kind of depends. I have sweaty hands, so I like the tweezers. Tweezers make my life a lot easier. And then tape method. I've got a tutorial. It's on my channel for how to do the tape method. But when you're ironing, again, like practice doing the tape method on do small ones first, so that if you mess it up, it's not a big deal. And then once you've like practiced on smaller ones, you can do it on bigger ones, and it makes your life so much easier. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tried making an X-base with a multiple of 2 or something that's not a multiple of 3. No, because it doesn't work. Like the whole, the way that an X-base works, like the way that X-base cuffs work or X-base in general works, is that it is a repeating pattern. It's modular is what that is called, but it is a pattern that repeats itself. And because each segment is exactly the same, it can repeat an infinite number of times and still work. So that's why it has to be a multiple of 3, is because each segment is 3 beads. If you tried to do it with a different number that is not a multiple of 3, it wouldn't work because you would end up with one segment that is different from all the rest. Does that make sense? Okay, yeah, we're good. Where can you find my bio? If you go to my page, now, I've never gone live before, so I don't actually know how to get there from this screen. But if you go to my YouTube page, where I have all of my videos, right, and it's got my little thingy, my little icon there, and then right next to my icon, it says what the channel's about, and right underneath that, it's got a link. Your first X-Base was my Rainbow Swirl tutorial. Hell yeah. I'm so glad that was helpful. That video did not get very much traction. I was like, oh, people have been asking me for this for a long time. And then I put it out and nobody saw it. Womp womp. Is making a candy channel a good idea or a bad idea? I think making a channel is a good idea for anything that, number one, you want to make a channel about, and number two, you feel passionately about. If you feel very passionately about Kandi, you've got stuff to say, and you want to like make content about it, then go for it, like, for sure. How many children live in your basement? Okay, this is clearly a reference to something because you've asked it a bunch and it's always the same wording, but I don't know what it's a reference to. Hello, Maya. Is there any other option other than ironing perlers? Not really. I have seen people, okay. I have seen some crazy stuff, crazy, like desperate stuff. So theoretically, you can put it in the oven, but it will not melt perfectly. It will kind of spread out and like blob. And also your house will smell like burning plastic. So I don't recommend that. You can theoretically like maybe use like a hair I've seen somebody use a hair straightener, and I've seen somebody heat up a pan, like in a cast iron pan on the stove, and then use the cast iron pan. Both of those things sound very dangerous and difficult. So I would instead recommend simply using an iron. I'm so glad I could help you start making Kandi. That's awesome. What's my favorite tattoo? Oh, that's a really good question. So my hand tattoos, my left and right hand tattoos, I first of all think are very funny. Like I initially got them because I think they're hilarious. But also ended up being very useful because I genuinely do struggle to tell my right from my left, and like I mix them up in real life. And so I just like I use them a lot. And then I also have gotten feedback from people that it's really helpful to have them in the tutorials as well. So maybe my left and right hand tattoos. As far as like my favorite of how it looks, my like octopus, my chest octopus into the ocean arm sleeve situation, I think is probably one of them. You're putting Kandi on your Dino Converse? Fuck yeah, love that. Ladder fidget cuff video, that's awesome. Oh my god. If I need drama, watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. Okay. When I'm feeling an urge for the drama, I will. Hi. Thank you so much. Y'all are so cute. My favorite Kandi project I've ever made. So the burger cuff for sure. As like a single thing. Really happy with how that came out. I also did a series of animal cuffs where they were all rotator cuffs with like an animal toy on them, and the cuff was themed around the animal. And I actually have a bunch more of those animals, and I really want to like get back into that project because I gave away all of those cuffs. Like those have all been traded out, gifted, whatever. And I think I want to do some more. What's my most sold product? I would honestly have to look. It might be my crochet patterns at this point. If it's not the crochet patterns, then it's definitely the pastel, like, ball pit chain. I use 1.2 millimeter cloth covered stretch cord. I have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. Love it. Love it. Excellent show. I really appreciate it. Do not put yourself in a financial situation to buy from me. I'm just going to say that right out. I love and appreciate you guys, and I love and appreciate the support. And, like, frankly, it's hard out here. I don't think any of us is doing great. But do not put yourself into financial distress in order to support me. Hi, Tay. No, so I didn't go to Dance Fest this year. I went to Dance Festopia last year, just like as an attendee. I was not able to make it out this year. Yes, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. An estimate of how much money I've spent on making Kandi in total? I mean, okay, things to remember. I've been making Kandi since 2019. I have not tracked all of it because I didn't start like a business. I didn't start selling candy for a little while. Um, and also, I have memory problems. So, but I think like including all of the stuff from like my office setup and my storage and my like everything over the course of 5 years, probably like $50,000 maybe. But remember, that's, that divides into $10,000 a year, which is less than $1,000 a month for a full-time business. So, like, that's not terrible for overheads. When I forget how to do a cuff, do I watch my own videos? Yes, I do. I do watch my own videos if I forget how to make something. Can you see my hair down? You absolutely can. It's gonna look like trash because it's been up in a bun all day. What candy should you make right now? Star Cuff. Your crush said he liked you. Oh my god, congrats. I am too old to be giving dating advice to teenagers who are not related to me. So I will leave it at that. There, that's my hair down. It's getting real long. I do have links to Amazon lists. They are in the, so if you go to my page, my YouTube page, my little picture, my little bio thing, there should be a link there. If you click that link, it's beacons.page/moodcandy. Click that link and everything is there. There's like a million different things to click on, bunch of different lists. They're all there. Please don't turn into a crayon. That's a fun one. I like that one. Made a sheep cuff and a duck cuff, and I also made a sheep cuff with the little perler fence that they would jump over. I did the same thing. Most difficult candy I've ever made. Oh my god. There is a type of cuff called a rage cage. I don't have an example to show you on hand, but I one time figured out how to make a rage cage by looking at a picture of a rage cage, and it took like 3 days, and it was extremely time consuming, and I never want to make it again. Never want to do that again. Thank you. I need to redo my hair. My roots are getting too long. How do you put on toys? I just posted a tutorial for that. Literally my most recent short is talking about how to add like stuffed animals to cuffs. I don't know if I have a UFO cuff on hand. I don't think I have one handy. What color should you dye your hair? I don't know. What's your favorite color? A crayon cuff would be super cool. No worries. Thank you for hanging out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Rage cage. God, who invented the rage cage? I don't even remember anymore, and I think he deleted it off of his socials. I should reach out to him and see if he would be down for me to make a tutorial for that. It basically is a giant, like, huge cuff, like this, if I was holding it like a hamburger, it would be like this, right? And then like this, if you're looking at it straight on, and it's layers and layers and layers of spaghetti beads. So it looks crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. It kind of looks like a sea urchin. Do I listen to Lemon Demon? No, but I am familiar. Can you make a tutorial on how to add words to a peyote cuff? That's not a bad idea, actually. Maybe. I'm gonna add it to the List of ideas. Okay. Perhaps. I have added it to the list of ideas. I have never made a candy bag. I don't have the patience for it. Peyote stitch is not my bestie, and a project of like 20 hours of peyote stitch kind of sounds like hell. Do I listen to Fall Out Boy or My Chemical Romance? I saw My Chemical Romance in concert in 2004. Yes, absolutely. I am absolutely pop punk trash, emo trash, whatever. Making a thing of candy goggles, nice. What's my favorite click crayon flavor? No, I'm not a Marine. You're gonna make another jellyfish? I am so surprised by how much people love the jellyfish tutorial. That is like my, I think, second or third most popular tutorial, and I see those out in the wild constantly. I did not expect that one to blow up the way that it did. Like, I'm happy it did. I love seeing them. But it completely took me by surprise. I do have a P.O. box. It is listed at the link in my bio. And I know it's harder to find the bio on YouTube. You have to go to my actual YouTube page, and next to my little logo icon, it'll have it. Your brother's a Marine? Ask him his favorite crayon flavor. You've never met a candy person in public? You'll run into one. You'll find us somewhere. I will say I don't usually, like, I don't wear candy on my day-to-day. When I'm just out doing things, I usually don't wear candy because it itches my wrists. I really only wear it at festivals and raves. He said it's blue. I'm making star chains. Hello. I'm sorry they deported Asteria. Okay, I have to finish this. I have been yapping and not actually doing what I came here to do, which is body double while I make Etsy orders. So I need to 6, 7. I'm on my last one. I'm so close. 8, 9, 10. Come on. There we go. Okay. And need to make okay. What's my opinion on frogs? I like them. Do I make pride star chains? Yes. I have a custom option. You can choose whatever your heart desires. I've got a bunch of different colors. If you have questions, you can always send me a message on Etsy. But yeah, like, for sure. Absolutely. Recommendations on what to make? Star cuff. Candy crayon cuff is a great idea. Oh no. I'm sorry, the dog got your string. Okay. Go. My cat is named Izumi Curtis, which is a character from an anime. But we call her Zumi. Show me your ways. I have great news. There's like 80 tutorials on my channel. You can absolutely learn my ways. This is a channel where I teach you how to do it. What color should you do for the star cuff? Trans flag, trans flag. I mean, whatever you want, whatever colors you want. But Trans flag, trans flag. If you send me candy while I open it on stream, perhaps. I will say I try to do so, but I am disabled and chronically ill. So sometimes I can't, and I don't want to commit to stuff that later I then have to like break the commitments. You know what I mean? Oh my god! Hell yeah! And I didn't even know that. Fucking clocked without even looking at you. I'm trans too. We're good. I do know Tally Hall. My partner listens to them. I've heard a couple songs. I don't like dislike them. I haven't listened to a ton. How to attach a keychain clip part to the candy. Normally what I do is I use key rings, and I use like a sharp pair of tweezers to just open up the key ring and slide it on. But I also am realizing that that might not be what you're talking about, so uncertain. Do I have motivation tips? Oof. Well, I have ADHD and I am medicated for it. So my first motivation tip usually involves taking my meds. We're all just trans here in the chat. Do you like DWP? What is DWP? DWP, okay. In California, DWP refers, in SoCal, DWP refers to the Department of Water and Power. I don't think that's what you're talking about. What's the most amount of candy I finished in one day? Years ago when I was prepping for Electric Forest, I think I did 25 mandala cuffs in one day. You're straight but you support? Thank you so much. Pansexual Demigirl, Arrow Ace. Oh, Devil Wears Prada. Got it. No, the screamy screams type of emo was always a little too much for me. I respect screamo and screamy screams and hardcore and all that, and I've got a bunch of like metalhead friends and screamy scream friends and stuff. It just never was my thing. You're a gender? I think you meant I'm a gender, which is the opposite of being a gender. I love that we have a little pride parade happening in chat. I think that's very cute, and I approve. You're doing a candy bag, what colors? I think that black and rainbow is like a classic combo, personally. But if you don't have a bunch of different colors of beads, black and green is also a classic combo. My favorite color changes. It's probably green right now. Yeah, no, you're good. I know what you meant. What about black and red? That's also a solid one. I feel like black and red comes across very aggressive, and if you don't want to come across very aggressive, like, it might not be the thing, but that's just me. Things to do when you get overstimulated. Are you familiar with the vagus nerve? If you are not, then if you are familiar with the vagus nerve, you've already tried this, then I apologize. But if you're not, then I will tell you about it. So the vagus nerve is a nerve that runs here and it runs here. And when you get overstimulated and you get like I'm losing words because I'm getting tired, but like when you get to a point of needing a coping mechanism, you can tap here and tap here. Or if you have a something cold, a cold water bottle, a cold ice pack, you can put it here, so it's like resting directly against the nerve. And what that does is basically tricks your body without even engaging your brain, tricks your body into going, oh, it's time to calm down. And so your body can start calming down before your brain does, if that makes sense. Hello, 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 everybody. My favorite candy tutorial that I made. Oh, that's a really good question. I am gonna think about that, and I'm gonna circle back to it. I don't sell any specifically pansexual stuff, but all of my, like, I have a custom listing for the ball pit chains, and when I do sell other things, mostly they are like custom listings, so you can always get it in pansexual colors. Hey everybody. You're also Neptunic. What does that mean? One, two, three, four. The most views I got on a short or video, I just had a short pass 1 million views, like, last week. I think that's probably the most, on YouTube anyway. My most viewed anything anywhere ever is, probably, there's a couple candy trade videos that went super viral a few years ago that got like 4 million, 5 million views. And then more recently, I have a couple videos, the Furby video and the circus wedding video, that got like 2-3 million views on Facebook. Anything I have that's in the budget of $30. I've got some crochet patterns. I don't remember what I have everything priced at. I've got some t-shirts. If you like gay shit, this shirt that I'm wearing, actually, it says all inclusive they them gay shit. I sell that. That's a shirt that I made and designed. You can put your hand over your heart, listen to your heartbeat, focus on your breathing to help calm down. Yep. Where do you recommend to buy bead string, etc.? If you go into my page, like click over to my actual YouTube page, not this live, but where all my videos are and stuff, where it says the description, there's a link. You go to that link, I've got all the recommendations there. Neptunic means you like girls and non-binary. Cool. This shirt is, I think, like $30. Maybe, probably more with like tax and shipping and stuff, but $30. Do I own any bigender candy? I don't know. I don't remember which flag is the bigender flag, because it's not my flag. So I'm bad at remembering what all the flags are. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I will say it is really, really tough growing up in a space where you can't authentically be yourself. I will also say that if you are in a space like that where there is like some level of danger, if you were to be out and proud, your primary job is to survive and be okay to get to adulthood so that you then can more safely be yourself. Have a lot of opinions about the way this country treats kids, but my hands are tied. You identify as a bean. Hell yeah. Bi and trans, let's fucking go. What does it mean when you don't care about your gender at all? I mean, sometimes it means you're cis. Sometimes it means you are agender, which is where you just don't have a gender. Like, sometimes it doesn't mean anything. And that's okay, too. Hello, fellow gays. Yeah, surprise, the Kandi Live has a bunch of gay people in it. Oh no, who could have guessed? My flags are, the ones that I identify with the most are trans and non-binary, and bisexual. I also, honestly, probably queer fits better, but I think the bisexual flag is prettier. So, and somebody said something. Hang on a second. What was it that they said? Oh, what does cis mean? So, okay, so it's CIS is cis, and they're medical terms. They're like doctor terms. So, cis means the same, and trans means different. So if you're cisgender, you're the same gender that you were assigned at birth. Like, you came out and everybody looked at you and said, that's a boy. And then you grew up and you went, yep, I'm a boy. That's cisgender. If you're transgender, it means you're not the same gender you were assigned at birth. You came out, they looked at you, said, that's a boy. And then you grew up and you were like, wrong. You're trans. Non-binary or omni flag. I don't remember what colors the omni flag is. I would say whichever one looks prettier to you, because you're the one who's going to have to look at this thing. And candy bags take forever to make, so you don't want to be stuck with one that you finish making it and you're like, wow, I'm really proud of myself for making this bag. I don't want to look at it anymore. It's uggo. Oh no, I'm sorry you got rejected 3 times today. That's rough. Well, I'm glad I could inspire you. Everybody starts somewhere. Like, I was a beginner too, a few years ago. And like, also, can I just say, some people stick with making candy and other people move on to other crafts, and both things are equally valid and totally fine. My favorite YouTuber. I love H Bomber Guy. I love Jenny Nicholson. I love Lindsay Ellis. I love Cat Black. FD Signifier. This is all, like, these are all people who make kind of, I don't know if it's educational, but it's definitely like political and sort of more serious video essay type content. Is not like fun streamers. Oh my god, there's a lot of people talking. A lot of people talking. Of course I support Jewish people. My partner is Jewish. Can I make a straight ally flag theme candy? No. I appreciate straight allies, but part of allyship is not like expecting things. If you are an ally to a person or a group or a community, and you're doing it because you want to be like recognized or get like given special recognition or you know, special favors or whatever, it's not really allyship. And I'm not saying that that is what you are saying at all. That's just why I don't particularly like make ally stuff, you know? Can I make a tutorial of how to make a candy bag with granny squares from Kandi? Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I have never made one of them myself. And I'm gonna be real, they look very tedious to make. So I'm not super excited about the prospect of making one. I'm trying to think if I've seen anybody else make a tutorial for that. I don't know. I'll think about it. You have 8 unfinished crafts. Too many to count. I have a pile. A big, horrible pile. Okay. There we go. That's 4 done. Ready to ship. Okay. 3 to go. Can't make candy right now because your cat's attacking the string. Yes, my cat also attacks the string. That's why she's not allowed in here. Am I an anti-zoo? I think I know what that means, and I think so. You just made 5 singles. Hell yeah, hell yeah. You were born a girl, thought about being trans, not sure how to go about it. Any advice or tips? I mean, if you are a younger person, which it sounds like you probably are, you do have time to like explore this and think about it, right? Talking to other trans people about their experiences, looking for other like you know, trans YouTubers and TikTokers and whatever who talk about their experiences and how they experience gender, how did they figure out they were trans, stuff like that, and see if any of that resonates with you. What are some tutorials I want to make? I really want to redo my slinky cuff tutorial. It is really old and not very good. I made it like on TikTok in 2020, 2021, and I never made like a full tutorial for it, so I really want to remake that one. God, I don't, again, the memory problems. I have a list. I have a list somewhere, and I have to go find the list. Pancake, aka pansexual. Do you like DPS? What does DPS stand for? It's probably not damage per second, because that's the video game definition, and that's what I know. Is it bad that your first Kandi was a 25-layer multi-stitch? I mean, it's not bad. It's certainly ambitious, and, like, good job for finishing it. I don't think that's bad. An alter human. I don't know what that means. Does it mean... I know alter is, like, a DID thing. Is it that? Can I have a please burger cheese? Dragon puppets. I don't know. If dragon puppets are like, it's like, if that's a specific piece of media, I'm not familiar with it. Or like a band. Also, my phone is dying, which is not the great, because my charger is in the other room. So, I think I've been streaming for 106 minutes. Not too bad for my first live stream. Rainbow string is above the mushroom. That's when I have leftover string like this, right? It's not long enough to make a cuff with, but it's long enough to make singles with. I put it in this drawer so that when I do finally get forced into making singles, or I need like shorter pieces of string for stuff, I don't have to waste string. I can like reuse it. Alter human is like Therians and other kin and different identities. Cool. Very cool. Oh, hi. Please say hi to me before you leave. I love your vids and toots. That's very cute. Probably if I was on a computer, I'd be able to read that better. It's very, very tiny on my phone. Starglove tutorial drops on Monday, the 20th. Today is the 17th. Is Monday the 20th? No, Saturday. Haha. 2 days early. It is, Starglove tutorial is already live for patrons on my Patreon, but will be live for everybody on YouTube on Saturday. Can you read this? Yes, I can read that. Okay. I appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you so much for joining me on my first live. I do have to go because I've got 3 more orders to fill and my bedtime is in 1 hour. So I will be back. I will maybe figure out a streaming schedule. It'll probably be like every other Friday or something, but I'll post. I'll let y'all know. You guys stay hydrated. Have a good night.